All right, so in this video, I'm going to help you cure your anxiety. We first need to understand why is it that you are anxious, and I'm going to address that in this video because in order to change the effect, you have to change the cause, and understanding the cause is going to change your results, okay? So what is anxiety, right? That feeling you get, especially we're going to talk about approach anxiety, but just anxiety in general, right? It's a feeling that builds up inside of you, right? It's a feeling that just, it bubbles up, right? So what you need to understand about anxiety is energy. And what is it that causes anxiety? It's caused by a lack of action. When you fail to take action, when you procrastinate, it starts to build up feelings of doubt, of anxiety, of insecurity, regardless of what it is. Whether it's you thinking about starting that business, whether it's you thinking about starting that YouTube channel, whether it's you trying to approach women. If you don't give that energy an outlet, it begins to build up inside of you and you start to feel this uneasiness, right? You don't feel comfortable. When you're in flow state, why do they call it flow state? Because you're flowing, the energy is flowing, right? So in order to let go of that anxiety, you have to give it an outlet. The outlet is action. In order to start letting that go, you need to understand that everything in this world is give and take, right? The sun goes up, the sun goes down. The sun doesn't stay up forever, it goes down. When you breathe in, what do you have to do? You have to breathe that air out, right? You can't keep that air to yourself. When people try to keep something to them, that's when they don't see any change or any growth in life, because everything has to be given back into the world. When you breathe in, you're borrowing that air. And if you hold it in, what happens? You pass out. What happens when it rains? The rain comes down, but then it also has to be given back up, right? It evaporates. It goes back up. Listen, our life, we don't even get to keep our life. Our life, at the end of the road, we have to give it back. And that is the ultimate explanation for how everything in life is a give and take. You have to give everything back, right? You eat food, what happens? We all know what happens, right? You drink water, what happens? The water has to be pissed out, right? So everything in life is a give and take. That's why poor people are poor, because they want to hold on to their money. They never want to let it go back. They never want to provide any value. People who have knowledge and don't share that wisdom, they're not providing value to the world. They're holding on to it. They're scarce. So understanding that helps you understand why you're anxious, right? Anybody who has approached women, the guys who don't approach women, the guys who stop themselves from approaching women, the reason why is because they sit there and they think about it. They're not giving that energy an outlet. So that energy begins to build up inside of you and it's not released. In order to release that energy, what do you have to do? You have to take action right away. You see a beautiful woman, you don't think about it. You go. You let that action go. You don't think about and start storing that energy of what am I going to say? How is she going to react? What about this? What about that? You're building up the energy. You're not letting it go. See, when you immediately take action, you're going into a flow state. You're going to a state that you're just flowing, the energy is going out, and you almost start to understand that, wow, all the words come to me when I just take action. Everything in life comes to you when you just take action, right? Every time you inhale, you don't overthink about, what if I let this breath go? Will I get any air back? Yes, you just do it. You take action, right? You take a deep breath. And you don't think about if I let this air go, right? What is going to happen? Am I going to get any air back in my lungs? What if I don't? What if I this? What if I that, right? I'm going to pass out if I do that. I'm going to pass out if I sit here and think about that. So what do? I breathe in, I take action, I let it go. I breathe in, I take action, I let it go. I take action again, right? That's life. Understand that everything in life is a give and take. You give, you take. You give, you take. You don't keep anything to yourself. Nothing in this world do you keep to yourself. And the people who do keep it to themselves are the people who become depressed, the people who become anxious, the people who are poor, because they don't want to give anything up, right? The people who are overweight, why are they overweight? Because they're taking in all those calories, but they don't want to burn it, right? They just want to keep it inside, right? And the people who do go out there, eat the food, but also burn the calories, those people are in shape. Why? Because people who take and give back are rewarded in this life. They're rewarded because why? Because that's life. So if you understand that someone who is confident because they just take action and they immediately go into flow, meaning they've been given this energy to act and they take action. So they're rewarded with confidence. The man who takes in all this energy and doesn't let it go, that man is not rewarded. That man has feelings of anxiety. That man has lack of confidence because he's failing to take action. And confidence comes from your actions, right? When you begin to take energy, give it back out, you begin to build confidence. Because you begin to have a stack of actions that you've taken and you've proven to yourself the type of person that you are. As opposed to the man who has no confidence, it's because he hasn't proven to himself the kind of man that he is. Actually, he has proven it to himself. He's proven it to himself that he's the man that is selfish and is not willing to give back into the world. He's proven to himself that he's the man that will not take action. He's proven to himself that he's the man who is going to let that energy build up and is not going to let it go. So he will not be rewarded with women in his life. He will not be rewarded with a girlfriend. He will not be rewarded with confidence. He will not be rewarded with a feeling of, I own the world, right? When I walk out into the world, I don't have feelings of lack of confidence, right? And back in the day, right? I'm not saying I was always like this. How do you think I understand this? How do you think I've learned this? How do you think I've accumulated this wisdom? It's because of the fact that I've been in that position where you were at back in the day, right? I didn't have social skills. I did experience anxiety when I was younger. Why? Because I wasn't taking action. I was letting that energy build up and I wasn't releasing it back into the world. Now, I don't sit here and I think about anything, right? And thinking is supposed to be a power, right? But understand this, your mind can either be your biggest asset or your biggest enemy. Your mind is like a sword. If you grab it by the blade, you're going to cut yourself. You're going to hurt yourself, right? It's dangerous if you hold it by the blade because it's not meant to be used that way. It's a powerful weapon, but it's meant to be used by the handle. Understand that. A sword is meant to be used by the handle. Your mind is supposed to be used to your advantage. Your mind is supposed to be used, that thinking that you've been given, that thinking is supposed to be used for good. That thinking is supposed to be used for strategizing, for how can I succeed? What can I do better? What actions can I take to get me closer to where I want to be? What actions can I take to live the life that I want? When you sit there and you overthink negative scenarios, you're actually using your mind against you, right? Because you want to approach that woman, but you start to think, but what if she rejects me? But what if those people, they laugh at me? But what if those people think I'm a loser for getting rejected? But what if, right? Just thinking all negative. You're poisoning your mind. You're poisoning your mind with thoughts. And those thoughts should be used to strategize and take action, right? The thoughts are not supposed to be used to think and just keep it. Once again, give and take, right? You've been given thoughts, but you want to keep them. You don't want to take action. You want to think, but not take action. Those thoughts were given to you so that you can take action. Those thoughts were given to you so that you can strategize and think about how you're going to take action. Those thoughts were given to you so that you can sit there and put together a plan to take action. Understand that. So the next time that you're thinking about anything, think about what you can do to get you to where you want to be. Don't think about how you're going to fail. Listen, I'm not saying that you should have zero risk management, right? Understanding risk. If you're in business, thinking about, if I do this, how much risk will come with this, right? And how can I handle that risk? It's not to say this is risky, so I'll never do it. It's to say This is risky. How can I tread around that and make sure that I still succeed and I can walk that tightrope and I can make sure that that risk doesn't kill me, right? But understand that, what is the risk to approaching a woman? For those of you who have approach anxiety, right? This risk management was made for us to not die, right? Was made for us to make sure if I walk into that lion's den, what is the risk? The risk is pretty high. So let me not do it because I'm probably going to die, right? That risk management was given to us for our survival. But when you use that risk management for your ego, understand that your ego can take a blow, but you're not going to die. Your ego might feel like it's dying, but you're not going to die, right? So understanding that, you understand that, let me go ahead and just go after what I want. I'm an incel. Okay, let me go and talk to women. Because am I going to die? No. So why am I using these thoughts and this brain that was given to me to survive towards something that has nothing to do with surviving? If that woman rejects you, are you going to die? No, right? So it's stupid to even think that. It's stupid to even sit there and be nervous. It's stupid to sit there and be an incel for the rest of your life because you're afraid. What are you afraid of? I would understand if you're going to walk into a lion's den or a shark pit. Of course. Yeah, you should be a little bit afraid, right? Of taking action and going into that. Why? Because it could result in you losing your life. So understanding that is something that is risky and should probably be avoided, then yeah, that's smart. That's overthinking in a good way, because that thinking is going to cause you to survive. But thinking about something that has nothing to do with survival is just using, once again, the sword and holding it by the blade. So guys, I want you guys to start taking action. I want you guys to see the beautiful woman and go and take action. Don't think about it. Don't think about what am I going to do, right? Think about it in a strategic way. You see a beautiful woman out in public? Okay, let me strategize, right? Let me not approach her from behind. Let me not come at her with a timid voice. Let me position myself so that I'm walking in front of her and use a more confident voice, right? A more confident tonality. Let me use that thinking to remember, look her in her eyes, right? Don't look away. Don't look shy. Use that thinking to remember, let me make sure my body language is confident and I'm not all slouched over like this and looking down. Use that thinking to strategize. Use that thinking to devise a plan. And after you devise that plan, you take action on that plan immediately. Okay? The reason why people have anxiety, right? What is anxiety? What is depression? What is anxiety? Depression is thinking about the past, being stuck in a moment of the past, right? And anxiety is projecting your thoughts into the future. When you can live in a flow state, meaning you're living in the present moment at all times, you're in the now. You are in the now. You're not thinking about, oh, what about this? What about that? You're thinking about this current moment, right? This video was not planned. All the words have came to me, right? I've been talking for how long? 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Did I sit here and plan any of these words? The only thing I planned was before I pressed start on the camera, I said, what is the topic? Okay, the topic is going to be about anxiety. What is anxiety? What is approach anxiety? How can you cure it? That's the only thinking I had, right? I didn't sit here and develop a script. I didn't sit here and think about what I was going to say and how I was going to say it. I only thought about the topic and the rest came to me, right? Because at the time, the present moment was, what is the topic? That was the present moment about 14 minutes and 26 seconds ago, right? That was the current moment. Now the current moment is explaining and acting on that plan. All right, guys, so I hope this video helped you out in some way. If it did, like the video. It's free. Drop a comment down below. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And peace out. I hope this video helped you guys out. Peace.